All right, so, wow, that's really loud. All right, hello everybody. Hello graduating students, faculty, guests, and the new college community. Thank you for being here, and welcome to new Commencement. Thank you. We have a lot of people here. It's great to see. I originally had the idea for this event back in February, but standing here now, I could never have imagined it would turn out like this. As a graduating student, I'm proud of our community for coming out to support the class of 2023 in such a loud, joyous fashion. So, thank you. And speaking of fashion, look at all these costumes. All right, everybody? I'm personally reprising my... It's a little embarrassing. I'm personally reprising my role as Rocky from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah. I have worn a shirt this time because I know we've got some grandparents here. And I organized that show also as a student-led event on campus in January. Shout out to anyone who went to that. I know a lot of people did. And yeah, I felt a similar way, I'd say, to how I feel now. I'm kind of in awe of the freedom and strength that can be found in community and self-expression. And I'm a theater person, if that wasn't clear. So I'd like to quote the great theater theorist, Bertolt Brecht. Thank you. My professor's here. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Thank you. And I kind of use that as a guiding principle here. I think as we celebrate our graduates tonight, I want you all to recognize that with resistance, joy is an act of resistance. And it's hard to feel joy sometimes, to put it simply, but especially when facing injustice on a daily basis. But an event like this, it's just a bit easier to remember that we deserve to feel that joy and love, and we deserve to feel celebrated. Thank you. I'll also say, look, the fascists taking over our school, we live in joy, they live in fear. They live in fear of time passing them by as they long for the past. They want us to live in fear too. But in resistance, we live in joy and love, knowing that their hateful, regressive ideas will soon fade away along with them. All right? Together, we are strong, and we can power on through this. And I know we've got some returning students here, not just graduating students. So you know that as you move forward, I know that you'll carry this with you. I hope tonight is a fulfilling, celebratory experience for everyone here, faculty, alum, guests, everyone. And especially for our class of 2023, thank you for being here. We've got a lot in store for you tonight, and I'm honored to be your host for the night, so you'll be seeing a bit of me. Thank you. Yeah. First up, it's my pleasure to introduce you to our first student speaker of the evening. She's a graduating political science student who held 2 consecutive terms as NCSA president from 2020 to 2022. In her time at New College, she led efforts to defeat the merger bill, lobbied against bills that would hurt Florida students, and oversaw the legislative agenda for the Florida Student Association as external vice chair in her final year as NCSA president. While writing a public opinion thesis on abortion attitudes this year, she began working full-time for a liberal arts college in New York. Without further ado, please welcome Sophia Lombardi to the podium.
Hi, everyone. I have to say I've been so emotionally collected all day until I got here, and I'm just so in awe of all of the love and community that is here. So thank you for showing up. I first want to really thank Casey, Amanda, Brian, Amanda, and whoever else I'm missing for putting this together. This is absolutely wonderful, and this is the celebration we all deserve. I'm really honored to be here today and have the opportunity to address you all again. As most of you know, I spent this year in New York, or all of you know that now. So when the initial news of all of this broke, it was really heartbreaking to be physically distanced while trying to fight back and trying to mourn everything we had lost as a community. I don't want to spend this speech speaking too much on New College's current events because I want today and tomorrow to truly be a celebration for us graduates. But if there's one thing I want to share with you all today, it's a lesson that over the last few months has offered me a lot of peace. When things like this happen, when awful things like this happen, the first thing I do is always exert too much energy trying to explain it and justify it to myself. All I end up is feeling much more lost and much more confused. And what I've learned through that is that we, as a community, as New College, will never really understand why these people are trying to ban our identities and limit our freedoms, because we, as a community, are not capable of the cruelty they are inflicting, thanks to the love that we share with each other. I have never encountered a community quite like New College's. We are so unique and so powerful, and I'm grateful every day for the lessons I learned and the wonderful people I met along the way. We, as the cohort of 2019, have had quite the run of it. We have survived a merger bill, hurricanes, this fascist takeover, and throughout that, we've somehow accomplished so much. We've managed a thesis along the way, and we just have so much to be proud of. A New College education without everything we've endured this year is already uniquely a revolution in itself. But the resilience and strength our class has built this year and over the past 4 years only amplifies that revolution. I hope you all are as proud as I am to soon be a New College grad. You have endless reasons to celebrate yourselves today, tomorrow, and always. And I would like to congratulate you guys by sharing my favorite New College quote, that the natural state of the human spirit is ecstatic wonder, and that we should not settle for less. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Sophia. Keep going. Thank you, everybody. There are a lot of people here. Hello. So, that was great. Next up, our second student speaker of the night. This English/rhetoric and writing student served as the editor-in-chief for our college's Robert B. Downs Intellectual Freedom Award-winning newspaper. The Catalyst, all right? It actually appears that they're double headlining this commencement week with another speech at some other commencement ceremony happening tomorrow. But please welcome our second student speaker, named Sophia tonight, Sophia Brown.
Thank you, everyone. I want to thank the new commencement organizers for giving me the opportunity to speak to you all tonight. As Casey mentioned, I'm also speaking at tomorrow's ceremony, but I'm not going to be reading the same speech twice. I think this crowd deserves something a little extra. And with that in mind, I'd like to start by sharing something that fellow graduate and one of the student organizers of this event told me recently, Casey right behind me. When we were discussing this event, that hasn't really left my head since. Earlier this month, Casey was sharing with me their ideas on how commencement functions as a symbolic performance. Yes, we do get tangible representations of our work through our degrees, but the ceremony of it, the photographs, the conventions of the event, the walking across the stage, it is just as much a celebration of a community as it is an instance of publicity and marketing, an opportunity to show off all of the things a prospective student can accomplish at New College and entice them to envision themselves walking across that stage. And this isn't inherently a bad thing. I'm not saying that all commencement ceremonies are institutional propaganda. But I do think the reason that we're all here today is that we can all innately sense that the ceremony taking place tomorrow isn't really for us. Casey brought up two key words when we spoke on the matter: normalcy and conformity. This new administration is in no position to authentically celebrate our community, and their attempts to enforce caps and gowns and the guest speaker they have invited signals their disdain for what makes New College such a brilliantly unique institution, and their sickeningly transparent political motivations. They are not interested in celebrating the same students that they have ruthlessly attacked and mocked for months. They have not contributed in any positive way to my education or my New College experience. And we've all seen that the hostility they've brought to our campus has inspired fear and restraint in our community. Fear of losing your job or not being granted tenure, fear of being arrested for protesting these attacks against our school, fear of being questioned by campus police for using chalk in a public outdoor area, of becoming a target on a trustee's social media platform, or of violent extremists inviting themselves to our open campus. That restraint part, I would say, comes into play when I see New College students attempt to talk about what we're all going through to a broader audience. I've seen so many brilliant students speak at rallies and board of trustee meetings, speak with reporters, local and national, that are covering our predicament. But there's such a significant challenge in trying to explain our situation to someone who isn't living and studying and working amid all of it. A few months ago, I was extremely fortunate to write an opinion piece for CNN about New College. I was able to work closely with a professional in the field. Thank you. I was able to work closely with a professional in the field to write and update this piece over the course of about a month. And I distinctly remember that the primary piece of feedback was that my piece needed to be palatable to a broader audience. And the journalist in me knows that this is an excellent point and very, very good advice. But I am here today as a student, first and foremost, and I am here to say that there is value in our anger and in sharing our authentic voices, now more than ever at an institution that has already taken so much from us and now wants to drive all of us out. So I would like to share a brief, abridged version of my first draft of that opinion piece with you all. New College has been a sanctuary that taught me that I don't have to compromise myself to have a right to my own education. I don't need to leave my identity at the door. Instead, it can sit in the classroom with me, not so that it can give me a sense of entitlement, but because it informs my education and interests in a way I cannot sever from myself. The definition of diversity, equity, and inclusion is the practice of being fair and of including people from a variety of backgrounds. This is not a political concept. It is not a manipulative Orwellian misuse of language to suggest that all people deserve a voice in the classroom. In fact, diversity, equity, and inclusion are inherent to a quality education. A person's academics are enriched when they are able to encounter a variety of people, texts, and viewpoints. Your horizons are naturally broadened when you pursue higher education, and this is not something that needs to be fixed. Any person who reframes these concepts as deceitful will never serve the best interest of students. If the past few months of my education have been defined by anything, it has been the unwanted presence of malicious entities who want to control how my school is seen by the rest of the world. They create a problem that never existed so that they can justify the undeserved overhaul of the most unique and rewarding public university that the state has to offer. Indoctrination has no place at New College, so neither does the rhetoric of these trustees, their interim president, or the governor for their own painfully transparent personal gain. Perhaps the worst part is that I am one of the lucky ones. I am not an underclassman whose academic future was just materializing before being unceremoniously ripped away. I am not a student or faculty member of color who has been told, implicitly or explicitly, that my livelihood is a worthy casualty of this unwanted culture war. But if there is any kind of special insight I am positioned to give, it's this. Listen to the students while they're still here. Prioritize student voices, student journalists, activists, organizers, and student government members and trustee representatives, because we are the ones living it. Don't look away. This doesn't go away for us once we get out of class, once we get back to our dorms, once the semester ends. Keep listening, even when it makes you uncomfortable. I wrote all of that during the first week of March. Now it is today, and this doesn't go away for us just because we're graduating. I know that the events of this month have radically altered many of our plans going forward. I know that they have disillusioned many of us from wanting to work or stay in the state. We're also leaving behind some truly bright and brilliant students and faculty who have chosen to or must remain at New College for the foreseeable future. These are some of the bravest people I'll ever have the fortune of meeting, and they will continue to preserve what has made New College so special in their individual ways. Much in the same way, I think we'll all be taking a piece of New College with us as we leave, preserving the memory of what we know to be the true heart of this institution, regardless of what it becomes. None of us will be alone as we branch out into the wide world. All of us will have each other, and all of us will have the version of New College that we have created. To quote one of my favorite writers, Joseph Fink, "While the future is fast coming for you, it always flinches first and settles in as the gentle present. This now, this us, we can cope with that. We can do this together, you and I." It has been an honor to be gentle and to be angry and to be New College with all of you today. Thank you.
Probably going to make me tear up. That was very beautiful. Thank you, Sophia. All right. Next, we will hear some words from a fellow organizer of this event. And I can personally say that all of this tonight wouldn't have been possible without his guidance and support. He's a New College alum, class of 2006, former NCSA president. So representing Novo Collegian Alliance tonight, let's give a big welcome to Brian Cody.
Hello, graduates. My name is Brian Cody. I started my first year at New College 21 years ago in 2002, so I'm an alum. In about 30 minutes, you will be too. I wanted to share a preview of what being an alum is going to be like. So imagine it's 10 or 20 or 30 years down the road. You see someone walking down the sidewalk, and they have a New College hat or a shirt or Four Winds tattoo. You're going to want to talk to them because it'll feel like coming home. For one instance, you'll be back in College Hall or Pate or Dort or Goldstein or Old Caples or Sainer in a seminar with Sarah Hernandez or Heidi Harley or in the back porch of the Four Winds. And you'll be happy to be around people who speak that secret language, who know the words Palm Court and coup and back week, because the rest of the world doesn't speak New Collegeese. You'll feel happiness to see someone who also knows the places at New College, the people, the drama, the dancing, the parties. Because a tiny liberal arts college is like a small town. You actually do know everyone, and they know you. And that's a very rare experience in the modern world and in higher education. As an alum, after graduation, you've had to explain New College over and over, answering the same questions. What do you mean there are no grades? What do you mean there were only 800 students? People in the world outside of New College will reflect back to you for decades how different your college experience was. They will reinforce and reify the New College alum identity in you. The small village scale of New College, along with its unique educational markers that we all marinate in for years, things like no grades, the contract system, tutorials, all of this makes for an intense density of social experience where walking to the Bay is to know you're being known by people you also know. I want to pause and thank Professor David Brain for not visibly cringing at my pseudo-sociological analysis there and keeping it inside. Thank you. As an alum, you're going to be encouraged to join alum groups. There's the Alum Association. I'd encourage you to join NCF Freedom. You can look that up, NCF Freedom. You can talk to Jono over here. There he is, Jono Miller. Faculty, we would love for you to join. Continuing students, we would love for you to join. I'd also encourage you to join the Novo Collegian Alliance. It's a new nonprofit that helps support Casey's idea with fundraising and event support, and who I'm speaking here for. Part of the Novo Collegian Alliance's mission is to continue to support the campus community. We all know it's important that next year, the students who haven't graduated yet, that they know we have their backs. We know it's important that the faculty know that we have your backs. The staff needs to know there's a network who wants to help them, and joining the Novo Collegian Alliance is one way for you to help give that support to the people on campus. Thank you. Thousands of people helped make tonight happen. Literally thousands of donors, dozens of volunteers working long nights out of state. I want to thank some of those people who helped push us forward. Kathleen Cote is here, Carmela French, Colin Boyle, Miranda Pierce. A huge thanks to the de facto event coordinator, Amanda Gilliland. Who basically put together a love fest for 450 people in about 2 weeks. And finally, thanks to Maddie Markham and Casey Casey. I shouldn't have looked at Casey. Oh no, now I'm gonna cry. Okay. They put in so much time, and this idea they took from Casey's head and turned it into this magical moment. I want to thank the donors of the fundraiser, which is over 2,600 people from across the world, different countries. And along with making this event possible, I want to say an extra thanks, because we also get to announce the creation of a student activity and advocacy fund. This fund will be student-controlled, administered with student government, and held by the Novo Collegian Alliance to maintain a firewall from influence by the college. This student-controlled fund is a way for students to continue to guide the campus culture, fund educational activities they want, fund clubs they want, support student advocacy on campus. This can be used to fund Pride. It can do theater productions, protest activities, really great parties, a speaker series, whatever the students want. And most exciting for me, the Student Controlled Activity and Advocacy Fund is launching, and I have $60,000 here, it's $70,000 is going to be made available to the students next year, and that's from the fundraising for this event. But back to becoming an alum. At New College, through your thesis and tutorials and narrative evaluations, we experienced the transition from being a consumer of knowledge to being a producer of knowledge. As an alum, you make a similar transition from student to steward, a transition from defining the school from within to supporting it from without, the transition from receiving community support to being community support. As an alum, especially as an alum graduating in 2023 who has experienced this historic challenge at New College and within American higher education, I hope you find balance between the fire to forge ahead with your life beyond New College, which you are fucking entitled to and must do, and the desire to care for those remaining on campus. You all now know what it is to realize something you care about isn't immutable. You've all experienced a loss of innocence that comes with realizing something that seems permanent is in fact contested and brittle. That institutions like New College are a messy, ongoing project composed of millions of decisions from millions of people across decades. That it takes advocates and stewards to maintain something, let alone improve it over time. New College of Florida has a 60-year history of stewards keeping it going, caring about a high-quality liberal arts education and creating a place where students can bring their whole selves to the pursuit of knowledge and be celebrated for who they are. Now it's your turn. Now you're a steward. So New College alums also have a long and storied history with not fully letting go after graduation, a little bit of hanging on. You'll see all the other alums laughing at this a little too hard. But for your class, this is actually appropriate. It's a really good moment to maintain connections to faculty and staff, and especially stay connected to the students who will be on campus next year. You can help them weather the unknown. You can help advocate for community support, for alum support when they need it. And so given all that, what I'm trying to say, being an alum means going forth, figuring out your wonderful self within this wonderful and fucking crazy world, continue to support the campus and people there, and look forward to the moments when you meet up with another alum and you get to speak the secret language of pay and palm court once again. On behalf of the Novo Collegian Alliance and from alums across the decades, congratulations, graduates, and welcome to being an alum.
Thank you so much, Brian. Pretty beautiful stuff. Thank you. I was tearing up. All right. Next up, we'll keep it moving with another speaker who we're honored to have here with us tonight. This one's really great. She's the former Associate Dean of the JBC Library. Y'all know who it is already? I didn't even say their name yet. A caring, compassionate resource for thesising students and lower years alike whose employment was terminated after 5 years of service to the New College community, here to join us tonight in celebration of our graduating students whom she selflessly aided in their research endeavors and academic studies to get to this very graduation is Helene Gold.
No one has ever seen me cry. I'm so glad to be here. Hello, amazing people of New College of Florida. As I have greeted so many of you in your classes over the years, woohoo, the librarian is here. And yes, I will be shaking my tiny, angry fist tonight. On Monday, May 1st at noon, without any prior communication or warning, I was fired and told to pack up my office and leave the library. Boo, indeed. The only explanation I was given that my position had been eliminated due to reorganization. If that had been true, they would have waited at least 3 weeks until the semester was over, when students had finished their work and faculty were off contract. But instead, they chose to disrupt, destabilize, demoralize our community, and shame on them. It is clear to me now that I was fired for being a troublemaker, for pushing back against and for disagreeing with the direct authority over me and the authority that has taken hold of our college. I wear my dissent and my resistance as a badge of honor. If they thought I would go quietly, they clearly didn't realize that they were dealing with the loudest librarian ever. So many of you have been in my classes over the years, and through the lessons and discussions that I've led, one main theme has emerged over and over: the inequity of who is in and who is out of the scholarly conversation. Why is this bear sad? Why is she sad? Because she's been left out of the scholarly conversation. I start every class with the sad bear. I'll leave her here to be sad. Okay. We've had countless discussions about who is privileged enough to have access to information, to contribute their voice to the conversation, and to gain the skills to navigate the endless production of information. Instead of learning how to click and filter and sort and cite and save, we focused on understanding the underlying forces and systems that have created an information ecosystem designed to maximize profit. Shaking my tiny angry fist at capitalism. Information is a commodity, and increasingly public education, a democratized institution which was ideally intended to benefit all, is being privatized and commodified through culture war-based fear-mongering and greed-fueled politicization. Your strength and power lies in your ability to recognize and identify corrupt systems, administrators, and politicians who seek personal gain and power by silencing dissenting voices, eliminating public services, revising history, censoring books, and squashing radical ideas. Proudly wear your troublemaker badge of dissent like I do. Skillfully navigating the information landscape to identify and call out disinformation. Harness the power through what you read, what you consume, and what you share. It really does matter. You have the power to question and identify the forces and funders and profiteers behind the information you consume. Your voice is powerful. From the bottom of my angry librarian heart, I encourage you to call bullshit on the bad actors who benefit from deception, cherry picking, and decontextualizing in order to win their dangerous political game. New College has prepared you for this. You've had years to develop skills to engage deeply with difficult texts. The skills to synthesize existing ideas and create your own through your writing, art, debate, analysis, programming, scientific observation. Carry these skills into the world and wield them often, loudly, and proudly. You are well prepared to stand up to those who seek to silence you. I have so much love and respect for you all, and I am so proud of who you are and what you've accomplished. Always resist, and always be a troublemaker. Question authority. Fight injustice and inequity. Speak truth to power. Vote in local elections. Support public libraries. Read banned books. Shop at queer and Black-owned businesses. Fight corruption and hate. Protect and respect nature. Be generous and kind to service industry workers. Support local musicians and artists. Get to know your neighbors. Go bird watching. Feed stray cats. Dye your hair blue and never, ever let the bastards grind you down.
Thank you, Eileen. Now it is time for our keynote speaker. All right, elephant in the room. She's a nationally respected civil rights leader and is the president and CEO of the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights. Throughout her storied career, she has fought relentlessly for civil rights, free speech, and inclusion while working at the Civil Division of the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, the ACLU, and the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund, Incorporated. After serving as the first Black woman counsel to the mayor of New York City, she chaired the New York City Civilian Complaint Review Board. As chair, she led the release of the hold on proceedings against Daniel Pantaleo, whose illegal chokehold killed Eric Garner. As a Henry Cohen Professor of Public and Urban Policy at the New School, she founded the Digital Equity Laboratory on Universal and Inclusive Broadband. She also served as a legal analyst for NBC News and MSNBC. At a time when it is critically important to support the right to read what we should be allowed to read, at a time when it is critically important to have access to comprehensive education, at a time when it is critically important to support the right to teach all of our history, not just a select few pieces, we are in a moment where students are demanding better for their higher education institutions, and everyone should be listening. Our speaker tonight has been listening. She's heard our fight for these causes here at New College and is here now to celebrate what our graduating students have managed to achieve in spite of the overwhelming struggles we have faced this semester. It's my greatest pleasure and honor to welcome our keynote speaker to the podium, Maya Wiley.
My name is Maya Wiley, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am here to use yours. When I received the invitation to come to speak to this new commencement, I knew that there was nothing in this world that was going to keep me from you. And while I could say that I am standing here as a civil rights lawyer, while I could say that I'm standing here because I lead the nation's largest and oldest civil rights coalition, while I could say that I am here because I too know what it means to be a faculty member, I'm here because I'm also a mom. And I am a mom who has two amazing offspring, both of whom are in colleges that respect their right to be who they are. And I stand here feeling the pride that I know your parents are feeling right now, because I feel it too. Because I know the pride your professors feel, because I feel it too. And because I know the pride of your peers, because I parent too. And I want you to know that it is not lost on any of us, no matter where we live in this country, just how inspiring you are and the achievements you've made, because you climbed a mountaintop called COVID. Am I right? You, as Audre Lorde said, what makes us strong are the things that require us to be strong for. And you have arrived at this moment because you have had to be strong in the face of COVID. You have had to be strong at a time when you had to figure out how to learn under the most challenging and scary conditions. And then on top of all of that, you have had to be strong in the face of a few who would tell you that you can't read what you want to read, that you can't speak what you want to speak, that you should get in line with an ideology that is not yours, and call that freedom? I'm going to read you a sentence. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Okay, this isn't a test. You've passed all your tests. But do you know the book that this sentence is from? It's the best public university college in the country. There you have it. Honors College, New College. You are correct, but I want to tell you where this sentence appeared last year, and I'm going to read you the whole sentence, the whole passage. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13, and the powers in charge of Florida's public university system have declared the state has the unfettered authority to muzzle its professors in the name of freedom. This is positively dystopian. This is positively dystopian, and these words come from a federal judge who had to hear the case against stopping woke. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know the college or university whose mission is to tell you to be asleep. But I will tell you this part of the story in Orwell's book. There's a thing in that story called news speak. It is the totalitarian regime's way of saying, we're gonna discourage you thinking the way you wanna think by controlling your words. And what's an example of this news speak? You couldn't say bad in the book, you had to say ungood. Ungood. Well, in Florida, the Stop Woke ad had the effect of even getting a textbook publisher to remove the story of racism from Rosa Parks' fight for the ability to say, I too have the right to sit at the front of the bus and not be treated as less than a full human being and citizen of this country. I think that's Orwellian. It is in the face of a state that had said you can't say gay through elementary school and now through 12th grade. That sounds like news speak to me. So why are we so inspired? It is because you have had to be strong for the right to have a free education, for the right to be able to develop your own sense of self, for the thing that the founders of this fragile and very fragile democracy, get more fragile, thought was necessary to preserve the republic, and it was an education. Even considering that the country should have a national free university system, those are the very founders whose words are now being turned against us for the value that is freedom is now indoctrination in the name and service of an ideology of a few. But your strength has not only mattered to you finding your full selves and your full voices and protecting it. Because what you have done is stood up and said, I'm going to speak. And in the 26 states that have bans on woke, bans on books, 1,600 titles, 80% of whom either talk about the experience of being LGBTQ in this country or have a protagonist or major character who is a person of color. You're speaking up to the dozen states that are now copycatting the Don't Say Gay law. You are not just standing for yourselves. You're standing for all of us. And I know that you have had to do that in the face of being called names by those you're supposed to be able to trust, called trustees for a reason. And instead of embracing you and saying, whether I agree with you or not, I want you to find your voice. That instead of saying that, you got called names like druggies and weirdos. Well, I want to tell you that one of the reasons we celebrate you is you are now in the full bloom of yourselves. And this flowering cannot be plucked. The petals cannot be taken from you. And you come and walk in an alumni tradition that tells those who tell you to be asleep and to get in line and to use news speak. They tell all of us that the epithets used against you, the slurs, the dehumanization does not speak to who the new college has been or who you demand it continue to be. And I want, yes. And I want to remind you the ranks that tonight you now join. And it is a joyous rank. It is a beautiful one. It is one that represents all that is good in this country. And it starts, I'm going to start with Jose Diaz-Balart, the first Cuban American to have a network news show. Someone whose show I am privileged to have been on. Someone I can tell you is a lovely human being who cares about democracy. And he is no druggie or weirdo. His brother, Lincoln Diaz-Balart, chairman of the Congressional Hispanic Leadership Institute and a Republican, is a graduate of New College. And Victoria Kolakowski is a judge of the Alameda County Superior Court, and she is a proud trans woman. I will not stop without naming X Gonzalez, who we will quote here tonight as saying, "We call BS." But I want to use the words of another alum who described the experience of coming and being a student at New College. I do feel pretty confident that had I gone to some larger state university, I would not have felt socially challenged and called on to question myself and answer the white nationalist community I was standing up for. The students weren't there to just get their degrees and move on. They were there to pursue truth and to try to understand society and challenge everything and be really rigorous about what they were studying. Derek Black was a white supremacist. His mother was literally the ex-wife of David Duke, the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. He came here a racist and he left here a human. And if that's what the state fears, then we say you do not stand for the democracy that is the United States of America, because we stand for a country that says we are equal. We stand for a country that says we are free. We stand for a country that says we are free to be who we are, to love who we choose to love, to worship the way we choose to worship, and to say the words of Adolf Hitler will not live here. Those words said, if you capture the youth, you control the future. And we are here to say we celebrate you because we know you are the authors of a future that no Adolf Hitler wannabe can ever create for us. And before I close, I am going to close with words from my tradition and my history, which are the words of Dr. Martin Luther King. But I first want to give you the context. This is from his last speech, the night before he was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. The speech where everyone knows the line, "I have been to the mountaintop." Everyone knows that line, right? And what felt prophetic about his willingness to stand up and be strong for racial justice, for an inclusive society, for being woke. But what he also said is, he said, if I was at the beginning of creation and the Lord gave me the ability to say where I would be and could be at any time in history, I would want to visit the pharaohs and the pyramids of Egypt. I would want to go to Mount Olympus. I would want to sit with Plato and Socrates. I would want to see the Roman Empire at its height. And I would want to be at the table when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. And he talked about this traveling through history of the world, seeing it, witnessing it, understanding it. And then he said this. He said, but if I had the ability, I would beg the Lord to let me be in the second half of the 20th century. And he said, I know that sounds strange because these are dark times. They were scary times. They were a time when he did not know that the next day he would be shot dead for demanding equality, demanding an end to the war in Vietnam, demanding that garbage sanitation workers got a fair wage, that those would bring his assassination. But what he said stands true today. He said, it's only in the darkness that we can see the stars. And when I stand here, all I see are stars. So thank you for lighting up our future.
Thank you, Maya Wiley. We're honored to have you here. Thank you so much. All right. We're just about ready to begin our procession of graduates. All right, the big event. So I'm going to pass it over to another special, talented student organizer to prepare us for that. Everybody, Maddie Markham.
Oh, I'm so short. I'm not going to mess with it. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to everybody up here, and also all of our wonderful faculty and staff members who got us here. I also want to briefly say that I'm honored to be up here too. I know some of you know I've done a little organizing this semester. And I remembered the first rally, which is, I hate being in front of cameras, and I was very scared. And it was a last-minute decision, and they had everybody that was there, all the students, kind of sit and stand around the podium. And I just felt so much love and joy and, you know, resistance that was collective from a community that really cares about each other. And I was far less scared than I was when I first was reviewing my speech that morning. And so I also want to say that I am not very scared today because I am standing and looking into the faces of some of the most fantastic and brilliant and talented and wonderful people I have ever had the privilege of knowing in my entire life. And, you know, we were students, and now we're soon to be alums. I did my thesis on New College's queer history, and I spent a lot of time in the archives, so I wanted to briefly read before our lovely procession a 1988 copy of the mission of the New College Alumni Association. Once admitted, a New College student is always a New College student. No person or group has the right to abridge, confiscate, or deny any New College student the responsibility for their own education. Responsibility in this context is a personal accountability, an ability to act without reference to a superior authority. A responsibility which can only be fulfilled in an environment of full academic freedom. Such an environment was established and is protected by New College faculty and their commitment to give students access to themselves, full support and encouragement, no matter the degree of change or confrontation which the unknown that the student faces, and in response to the student's expressed goals, to offer suggestions, challenges, and opportunities for the student's personal and academic growth. Above all, New College faculty must be committed to restraint and that they never become an obstacle in the student's growth. New College must always be as creative as possible and as innovative as its faculty and students deem necessary. The New College administration must accept the challenge of creativity in maintaining an efficient, effective, and truly helpful academic infrastructure and in removing confining administrative conventions. New College's unique environment of intellectual and social self-determination must be defended from constraints imposed by the external environment and promoted internally as well as externally by the New College alumni. In addition to being resources of ideals, information, wisdom, vigilance, and funding, New College alumni must ensure that the New College Foundation contributes the kind of support needed for an environment of full academic freedom. Although one byproduct of such an environment is that New College's success as a national institution can easily be measured in traditional statistics of intellectual achievement, these statistics should never become goals in themselves. By definition of admittance, all New College students want to learn. Therefore, all New College students must be helped, never hindered. The mission of the New College Alumni Association is basically the same as that of all constituencies of New College, to provide such help to students in ways appropriate to the nature of that particular constituency. And now I have to tell you how to do the procession. So there's going to be somebody with cards over here, and instead of doing the usual alphabetical order, we're going to do it in a more New College quirky way. We're just going to go in order of how you are sitting. So go fill out a card with your name, and then I would like to introduce Professors Vijada and Myhill, who are going to read names for the procession.
Okay, and then they go down that ramp. Okay. So are they behind
We'll go
us?
back and forth.
Like,
We'll go back and forth. Yeah,
basically, where is their path in relationship? Okay.
I'll host for a little bit. So we're figuring it out. This is one that we were like, we kind of need people to figure out exactly how to do this. So I'll say, yeah, thank you. Are we ready? All right.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. We gotta get in between us. There's no way. I am so short. Okay, we're good. Yeah, can they hear you?
Yeah, they can hear me.
Fine.
That's fine.
Okay. Jesse Merkel.
Vianney Haramiju.
Faye Lal Borodiansky.
Grace Sherman.
Barbara Montero.
Gia Friedman.
Alice Golden.
Blank card.
Saeed.
Lee Collings.
Saeed El Hajoui.
Jovi Christos.
Ash.
Natalie Massaro Kuhn. I'll give it to my colleague.
Nisanur Gench.
Jacob Silverman.
Devin Gardner.
River Navalski.
Corey Lowry.
Clementine Mead.
Cass Setterberg.
Kyle Miller.
June Snell.
Kathy Abbott.
Avery Myers.
Lucy Wolf Brown.
Zori Feringer.
Zachary Feringer. Lex Daly, and it's their birthday.
Gaz Miller.
Nicole Silvera.
Kenan Gisson.
Congratulations. Lily Field.
Erica Kaye.
Congratulations. Corinna Nee Carroll.
Isabel Traspando Escobio.
Leila Cortijo.
Janelle Swan.
Anthony Dotino.
Alyssa Boynton.
Molly Reinhardt.
Nick Floyd.
Oscar Vaughn. Congratulations.
Madison Anastasia Markham.
Sophia Brown.
Sophia Lombardi. We'll figure it out.
Casey.
Antonio Tahia Ginsburg Klemt.
Alicia Luguri.
Vanessa O'Brien, also her birthday.
Kyla Bale.
Lisa Hyde.
Megan Gillespie.
Adam Hassan.
Tatiana Pillsbury.
Kayla Pearson.
Riley Bedell.
Christiana Fizel.
Irene Hanaber Martinez.
Emily Winter.
Correction, Emily Reiter.
Sorry.
Teamwork.
Okay. Lou Paris.
Emily La Placa.
Chloe Arizona Fodor.
Rocío del Mar Ramírez Castro.
Helena Wood Barron.
Jack Sobel.
Erin Niehaus.
Stasi Cusos.
Sydney McLean.
Carson Prescott.
Melody Scott.
Alana Swartz.
Precious Darling.
KP Powell.
David Ponce.
Micah Hire Kinsley. I love you too.
Ellie Halvanol Cook.
Nico Zamora.
Oceana Arena Krasny.
Mia Sweetland.
Jade Stryker.
Lydia Dykema.
Piper Cole.
Mickey Mitchum.
There's an arrow. The girl from the ring, Claire Stout.
Nat Kornblum.
Zane Cullinane Walsh.
And that concludes the reading of the names of the class of 2023.
Hello, everybody. That was great, right? I'm graduated now. That's pretty cool. This next thing is even cooler. But I mean, that was pretty cool. I won't say that, but we have ready. Let me check. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. For a final, congratulations to our NCF graduates. We have a cherished New College community member who needs no introduction. We've all missed her dearly these past 4 months. The lack of her presence is felt on campus every day, but she's here with us now for our commencement, as she damn well deserves to be. Without further ado, Dr. Pat Oker. I'm gonna cry right now.
Thank you. And now you're going to ask me to say something. I had written remarks, but I'm going to do something else, which is, first of all, I cannot begin to tell you how good it is to be here with you. It is so good. Some of you know that I've been to a lot of graduations. So last year, people kept saying, "Oh, new college graduation is really great." I'm like, yeah. You know, I'm like, yeah. And then I saw a new college graduation, and I'm like, it's the best day in the whole world, you know, like the best day of the year. And then I realized that I would not be at graduation, and it has been so sad. But it's not sad anymore, because we're here. So you, new college graduates, and the alumni, and the faculty and staff, and family members, everybody who are donors who have made this event possible, have transformed something that could have been very sad into a day of joy, a night of joy and celebration of community, and these amazing graduates. Amazing. So congratulations. I am so proud of you. We are so proud of you. You give us so much hope. I do have just one little thing that I want to just briefly mention, which is that, of course, I'm going to say something. This is a magical moment. It really is. So I'm going to ask you to capture a detail that you'll keep for years and decades. What are you wearing? It's not going to be hard for some of you to remember that. What are you wearing? Who you're sitting next to? Something about the clouds, something. Capture those details. And here's why. Life is full of before and after moments. The vast majority of them we recognize only in retrospect, right? The phone call that changes your life, the bad pickup line from somebody who ends up to be your husband for 31 years. Sorry, I wasn't planning on outing him on that one. Most of those moments we know in retrospect, and we think, oh, the before and the after. But graduation, like a birth or a wedding, is a night when you know beforehand that transformation is here. And in my written remarks, I was going to talk a little bit about that, but Brian stole all my lines and did even more about you're no longer students. You are now new college alumni, and they are embracing you with open arms and all the love in the world. And I know that to be true. So this is a magical, magical moment. So savor this. Savor the transformation that you are undergoing right now, the transformation that you did tonight to turn this into such a celebration of joy. You are living proof that transformation is not just possible, it's inevitable. And man, if I needed a message, it's that. So thank you. I'm going to end with a quote, because I like quotes. And not surprisingly, it's a poet, Mary Oliver. Damn good poet. And I was thinking about the magic of a moment, because that's where joy is. Joy is never in the past, it's never in the future. It's only right here, right now. And this is what she says about joy and the moment. And it's what you should do tonight and forever. She says, joy is not made to be a crumb. Think about that. Savor. It's not a crumb. It's the real deal. Congratulations. You are amazing. You have totally filled my heart with love and joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Dr. Oker. Yeah, well, I'm crying, so it looks like it's the end of the ceremony. Yeah, I just want to say as my final note, as your host, there's a reception. We're going to have live music. We're going to have food, drinks. We're going to have, thank you, sunglasses. Also ash, and also physical plant. Yeah? Physical plant? I don't know where chalk. All right. So, yeah, we have some live music. We're going to have some more snacks, some more food, I believe. We're going to, or drinks. Sorry, let me read the page. We have commemorative posters designed by graduating student Jessie Merkel. And yeah. Hell yeah. And we also have commencement t-shirts, also designed by Jessie Merkel. We also have markers, so you all can sign each other's t-shirts. And we have a photo booth. Where is that located? Somewhere. There's a photo booth somewhere. You can write notes to professors who are moving on or students who are moving on. And remember to, as Dr. Oker was saying, take a moment to enjoy the moment we're in right now. Nothing else matters right now. We're here right now. We're graduating students. We're already graduated, I guess, kind of. But it's a very special moment to be here with all of you. I feel like this event was a success. It's continuing to be a success, and wouldn't have been possible without all of you. So thank you. We're going to get some music set. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to get some music set up, and yeah, feel free, walk around, enjoy yourselves. Again,